Well, everybody, we've come to that very, very special time here at ROM, and especially on this very, very special night, because we don't have just one feature, we have two features. We have the wonderful Ellen Schmidt, accompanied by her husband, Alan, and we have Cheryl Perrault. And we have my very, very dear friend, Cheryl Perrault, who's going to be coming up first. So we'll bring Cheryl up and get her set up with her, with the mics and things like that, the things that I have no clue on how to do. But you're going to have a wonderful time with Cheryl and all she has to present. And you know, a lot of times I bring people, and there are bios for both Cheryl and Ellen all over the place here. Feel free to read them. I don't oftentimes, I don't use what people always give me because there's just so much substance to everybody, and I tried to add, which I tried to do to both Cheryl and Ellen and Alan, and I did do that too. So it's a little wordy, but the three of them are such dear friends. But let me bring Cheryl up first. Cheryl she's a consummate human being. She's somebody who gives so much to so many, so often. She runs a wonderful, wonderful venue for so very many years now called Wake Up and Smell the Poetry, which I know I've been to, so many of us in this room have been to, out in Hopkinton at the HCAM studios. And if you want to subscribe to that channel, Cheryl can tell you all about that. Cheryl has been involved with so many things, whether it's fundraising, whether it's talking to people in circles, little circles, like a lot of people go to song circles. Cheryl does a lot of work in people circles, and talking about what life means to them and what life means to each other and how you can relate to one another. Much like many, many of the songs and poems we've heard tonight. But I'm not going to go on a lot about what Cheryl can do. I'm going to go on and say, bring Cheryl up and show you exactly what my dear friend Cheryl Perrault, who hasn't featured here since 2012. We are so honored to have you back again. Let's hear it for Cheryl Perrault, everybody. You got to ask these guys. Which mic, guys?
All right, well, thank you very much, Neil. I always love the community of everyone together here at the wonderful Roslindale Open Mic. So, I am delighted and honored to be sharing this feature with my dear friend, Ellen Schmidt. A number of years ago, I was asked to write a poem about the topic, the word labyrinth. And what came first to mind for me was a bit of a wild car ride that I had, because it was circular on the idea of a labyrinth. And I chose that to share with you first because it was based on a true story of my life, with a car ride with my daughters, young at the time, on their way to a Woody Guthrie music rehearsal. And I just want you to know that at the end of this piece, there is reference to someone who is a very warm and welcoming host, and that we were on destination to Ellen Schmidt's house, who reminds everyone about being accepted and about being loved. The other Saturday, I was supposed to be driving to Concord, the once residence of Henry David Thoreau, who wrote, Time is but a stream I go a-fishing in. Except I had to be in Thoreau's timeless homeland in less than 30 minutes. I was supposed to be at somebody's house for some important meeting with time as my patient rival. Although I confess I might have left in my usual 10 minutes late margin, having that sense of being able to control time rather than time controlling me. Pay attention to your surroundings. Driving along, spinning my wheels in the rural backroads of expatriate farmers, I see the native daffodils facing me at the roadside, standing tall as if to stretch and beam their yellow sunrise. There are a few remnant cows standing idle in a field, 2 or 3 sheep nearby. Some children are riding bicycles, slow motion, and I drive by, late but looking my car a pinball in this game where I bounce back and forth on these roads, gaining points, observations, realizations, and I wonder, is this how Thoreau felt in his wilderness, amazed to see so much? I get lost after I take a few shortcuts, but at some point I'm not sure where I am anymore, yet with each new landmark I feel found. Take occasional deep breaths. By now I realize I am officially lost on this seemingly simple road expedition. And suddenly I am feeling the toxic invasion of the shoulds. I should know the back roads like the back of my hand. I should have brought a map or a GPS. I should know better by now. Should. Racing and raging at myself, nearly ready to have myself committed somewhere. And then I tell myself I'd come to a stop sign, which tells me the obvious: stop. Be my own best friend. Continue on with the journey and do the best I can. Pull over when I need to. Roll down the window. Feel the sun stroke my face. Gentle breeze passing over me. Birds take turns singing solo. I still have to get to my meeting, the destination. But I realize the destination is all around me as well. Go slow. Finally, out of nowhere, I see a sign ahead for a road leading back to Concord. So, ready to make up for lost time, I step on the gas in anticipation. And as I do, I pass a police car hiding in the bushes of a nearby driveway, waiting for the ambush. As he speeds up, he puts the blue lights on. I pull over, start to feel the worry, the anger, the fear. I wasn't going that fast. What about all the other people out there going faster than me? And as I face the police officer, who begins by saying, "Good afternoon, ma'am. Do you have any idea how fast you were going?" I realize he is probably right. I was going too fast, and I have no valid excuse, thinking I'm entitled to be speeding in this residential place, teeming today with all the sights I've been celebrating, except when I'm late. Children wobbling on bikes, the happy, shaggy dogs, which might get loose, even the hyperactive squirrels doing the perpetual celebrating of life dance. The vulnerability of all this beautiful life. So he goes back to his car, checks my driving record, comes back and gives me a warning and tells me to please go slow, no matter where I am going. Nothing is that important. Respect one another. 5 minutes later, I'm back on track, getting almost there, but suddenly I find myself behind a bewildered elderly woman who looks to be about 100 years old behind the wheel of a Ford Fairlane in the middle of the road, squinting out the signs and then accelerating slowly until she gets to the next sign, seemingly oblivious to those behind her. Well, at this moment, despite my recent warning, I would like to pass her doing 100 miles an hour, make her hair blow while I squeal my tires past, but I refrain. It is the one behind me who changes this, a man in a monster truck, brown and tall like a T-Rex, blaring his horn at her, at me. The elderly woman pulls over, and she sticks her hand out the window to wave us past her, and then gives an ancient 60s peace sign after we've gone by. Then I understand her, the monster truck guy understands me. He pulls away from his horn. We all recoil in our understanding and journey on. Love. At long last, I see the street sign that welcomes me to my destination. However, I am now over 30 minutes late, but I'm grateful to arrive and grateful for all of this challenging, frustrating, unnerving, wonderful, breathtaking, incredible journey. And as I arrive at the front door, the host hugs me warmly, tells me the meeting hasn't even started yet. It seems I am not alone. There are others who have been experiencing delays, and she is so glad to see me on this beautiful day. I realize it's not too late. It was not a perfect journey, but it was mine. Its unique twists and turns and sightings, and I see suddenly, fleetingly, where I was, why I'm here, to simply follow this collective underground heartbeat we all hear in this labyrinth of life. And I step inside the door and take my seat and join the meeting that has just gotten started. To Ellen. And this next spoken word poem, I must have written about 14 years ago. Oh, wait, 16, yes. Because my mother, it was inspired when my mother gave me a jar of anti-wrinkle cream for my 40th birthday. And I wasn't ready to face it. And I still have not opened the jar, but it gave me this poem. Today, I see the lines in my face for the first time, although I'm half aware they've probably been there for a while. In self-alarm, I turn away, then back again to look more closely. Begin to see my life between the lines, snapshots flashing in my face. That's what they start to show. I see young girl, skinny-legged, small sister clinging to my side. Her deep eyes graze their blue into me, dressed as royalty, tripping in our mother's heels, singing odes to rainbows and stardust fairy queens. I see mother half smiling in her fatigue, taxi driving queen in old red pickup truck, hauling self-conscious teens, fast forward lecturing her checklist of douse, wanting our lives different, time being so precious. I listen half-hearted while safely hidden from being seen by others beneath the dash. I see his face the first time, lecture hall looking backward, something glowing, from behind, drawn to the orb of his quiet presence, seeing the solar power in his smile, in his eyes, shining almost too bright as I stare back squinting, his gaze holding me, pulling me into his life, pushing him into mine. I see the waiting of our baby's arrival, telling off-color tales of my childbearing body. Dr. Belly laughs under the influence of my childbirthing pain. All humility unleashed, nothing matters until she arrives bright-eyed. She stops everything, stills the room, and we are instantly charmed at the sudden connection as she looks right at us, and we swear that she just smiled. I see our growing girls staring at the bathroom mirror, fixing their hair, combing, laughing, primping, clear images staring back with female pride, confidence, and untamed beauty. And like the wild horses, they look at reflections, like what they see, and gallop away in their minds. I see dear friend in my arms crying, the desperate clutching, holding her steady and rocking her gently to cradle the blow. Feeling so helpless, holding my own breath, crying dry tears, real ones to come much later, alone in my room. I see my dog running with me in wild full moon midnight, gasping for our breath and sucking in cold. Dog, woman bonding, possessing our spirits. Under the bright stars suspended around us, while looking behind, we see the home lights shining their heart song, calling us in. Snapshots fade. My wonderland goes away, and I return. My reflection returns, my lines return. I am back in the mirror. I see the lines in my face today for the first time. I see how they carry me, tell my life story, bring me comfort, and bring me home. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you might notice, I have noticed getting older and being a writer these last, maybe almost 18 years or so, coming back to writing after a long gap, that I write a lot about life stages, and then noticing that I have been interested in lifespan and stages since I was a child. I have notes from the past where I drew myself at different ages of life, the 5 stages of Cheryl, and I predicted myself in the future, and I've been working and teaching with people from childhood to hospice at the end of life and interviewing them in different ways and their stories. and teaching developmental psychology. I didn't put this all together until not long ago. And interesting to see how there are patterns sometimes in the things we're drawn to. And that for sure is in my writing. And when I was selecting these pieces, I was thinking of Ellen and what she has written in her songs. And that's something I think we have in common. And I was thinking, this one focuses on the number 5 a little bit, and things I've noticed that when I've been writing focus on the importance of nature, the importance of love, the importance of acknowledging we're both quirky and human. I mean, we are all both quirky and human and also have some of the holy in us. And the importance of telling our life stories, life review for learning. And lastly, of the celebrant of all of us of life, that has to do with honoring who we all are for being us, all of us. And as Mary Oliver, the great poet, says, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? And just thinking about that all the time until our very last breath. We always have that question to ask. And I think that Ellen does that beautifully with her songs. And I asked if she would come up and join me for my last piece to read her lyrics of a song.
I can be right here. I don't need anything. Hi, everybody. Isn't she doing a beautiful job? She's just amazing. And I was remembering when I first met her, we were taking lessons of different kinds, but we met outside of Don White's doorway. I was getting some lessons about the way I produce music and stories, and you were there, I think, for, yeah. And that was where we first met, and we've been friends ever since. And so we're each doing something in the other person's set, which is really nice, and I'm happy about that. And I'll just tell you, well, now that I am 79 and Alan's about to turn 82, you know, we look at every day and we say how grateful we are that we are here each morning. And everything is so important, and all of you are so important. And so I'm going to read a poem that was taken from something my mother wrote, because my mother, among other things, was a poet and published from the time she was 15. Her name was Norma Farber. And when she became a grandmother, she began writing children's songs and wrote over 20 of them in her lifetime. And my favorite poem that she wrote is called Inches and Pride, and it was based on the relationship she had with my daughter Wendy, and many of you know Wendy Santos. And so there's a picture on the table that shows her reading the book, the favorite poem of mine that my mother wrote, called How Does It Feel to Be Old? And interestingly enough, she wrote it when she was 69. And I've had older women say to me, she wasn't old. But anyway, and certainly I'm a lot older than she was when she wrote it, but it's a lovely picture of an affair that we were at many years after my mother passed away, and Cheryl happened to be at it with her daughters. And in the picture that you'll see if you look on the table, it shows Wendy holding the book and reading from the book. And Wendy spent a lot of time with her grandmother, and so it was dedicated to her. So I'm just going to read it, and then I did write a song from it, but this is really taken from my mother's writing. And for this small print, I need these. She wrote it for my daughter. How does it feel to be old? Written by my mother, a grandma's tale she told, a story filled with memories, with honesty and humor, some loneliness but no regrets. These words were written to her. Inches and pride, inches and pride. Look how you're growing in inches and pride. That skip of generations, that special love they shared. They would sit and talk all night. No bedtime rules, who cared? Look at the family album, and in the mirror too. Staring at those photographs, she sees herself in you. Inches and pride, inches and pride. Daily you're growing in inches and pride. She wakens at the morning light from childhood memories called. Stretch her legs to touch the floor, careful not to fall. She'll eat her meals just when she likes and share them if you wish. Draw you pictures as she did for me. Her fingers shake a bit. Inches and pride, how quickly you're growing in inches and pride. No need to wear a watch at all. Who cares about the time? There's many things she'd like to do, and many she has done. She knows she's on a journey to someplace that's quite new, but you'll just keep on growing. There's part of her in you. Inches and pride, inches and pride. You'll keep on growing in inches and pride. Soon you will know your grandma has died while you were still growing in inches and pride.
There's a quote I have on a stone in my yard. It is not the number of breaths that we take in life. It is the number of moments that take our breath away. There's some controversy about who said it, but maybe everyone says it. This is called Life Review. What were your greatest moments? What got you smiling as a baby? Nestled safe in someone's arms, simply staring into the eyes of a hovering face, or listening to a softly sung lullaby of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, or maybe someone was even singing while counting your tiny toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was that moment? What about the time you were in school, sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, everyone trying to do their best to survive? Everyone hoping to be admired or loved by someone, whether a teacher or a new school chum or a kind old custodian. Maybe someone sent you this one Valentine that had the glittery heart on it that said, "Be mine." Or there was this one grade school teacher telling you how much he loved your drawing of the planets and the shooting stars. Or maybe how someone once told you while sweeping the floors after school how sometimes even the most quiet one or least noticed goes on to do the greatest things. What was that moment? What about those days of contribution when you had moments taking pride in the work you handed in that went out into the world in one way or another? Whether it was the wedding dress you altered, or the car you got running again, or the proposal you wrote to help clean the vast oceans, or how to keep the babies swimming out of mothers healthy and alive. Or you are the one at the bakery who makes all the little children gasp at the beauty of the butterfly cake you just created, count the candles, mark the celebration of one more year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was that moment? And there is love. Maybe you find someone, you hold hands, have a picnic under the stars, order burgers at the bar. You might be out on the beach in each other's arms or sitting at the table in your cabin or your palace, looking into each other's eyes. Maybe you marry, maybe you don't, or you remain lifetime friends or kindred spirits or childhood sweethearts, or you are new in love and in your senior years of life. Maybe you last a lifetime or not, but you were together for a few good moments. And then to know you had love of a partner, a lover, a friend, even someone who once held the door for you because they really wanted to and looked into your eyes and your heart stopped for 5 seconds of connection. What was that moment? And there are the children in this world, how they remind us of how we are all really supposed to be. We see their wisdom coming out like happy bubbles. They cannot seem to prevent from releasing. Their eyes search for beauty and smiling faces when they are not yet even able to get around. And then how they grow and hoot and laugh and skip and dream, and you see the stars in their eyes for things like finding pennies and seashells or turtles basking in the sun, and they are wired to love every single minute. And they are telling you things like the sun really loves us, and that even when things are hard in life, there are always the pretty roses growing, and the rivers that keep flowing, and the giant ocean waves that rock the world back to sleep each night. Such amazing wisdom, such prophets of our life. Whether we're watching children sing on the subway, or you are with your own on a blanket on your backs, counting the shooting stars that go passing by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was that moment? And then the growing goes in your life, and now here you are. You have these moments in your mind. You have loved ones nearby in your home or in your mind, or perhaps even guiding you after they are gone. For aren't they always really here amidst us, whether you call them angels or ghosts or evidence of history? You now think upon your moments like a newborn baby, knowing you will go out as you arrived, naked but carrying so many stories, so many moments, so many possibilities of our human condition, of what you have brought to this life, no matter what the hard times were, no matter what still makes you cry. But do you see those bright sparks from all your own stars of such goodness, of so many moments that you are still shining from your life? Take a look. There you are. There you always will be. Thank you very much. Fast. I stopped dancing when I studied psychology and went into the work of psychologists for a number of years. And it's only in my 50s that I've come back to it very slowly, first naysaying. And what I say is I've been exploring it in different ways. Less time in judgment for all of us, more time in dance and joy. All my life, I have been told that the act of growing old is about growing away from childish things, which in a way can sometimes be the most vibrant time of being alive, when we would let our light shine, when we'd play and sing, and when we'd let ourselves even dance at times. I used to dance in the puddles when I was 4 or 5, in my bedroom to the spinning 45s on the high school dance floors. I'd come alive. In my 20s, I'd hustle under the disco balls of night. And then I outgrew dancing. I became older, more mature, more educated, more sophisticated, more civilized, and I gave up the dance. Dancing seemed, and in my circles was deemed, more childish, silly, foolish, uncool, and very low on the stratification pole of seeming civilized. It's only in my later years of losing friends and bringing in new lives and watching them grow and letting them go and thinking about life and its meaning and finally how I see the light and I see how we always need to dance. Our ancestors told us through their ancient stories told and documentation by scribes, and they showed us with the passing down of dance moves from many tribes, and they share the DNA of our wiring deep inside that gets all our neurotransmitters shouting out loud to us that we were meant to dance through every stage of life. Dance to celebrate the good times, dance to get through the hard times, dance to get us in collective sense feeling more connected as one big dance family. Dance to be always growing, dance to always be showing that we are alive and kicking and flickering a light from deep inside. And so this is my doctor's prescription for us all to awaken, to live, to love, to feel this life while we still can, on a stage, on a dance floor, in waiting line at the RMV, in our wheelchair, and even when it's not possible, for we can still dance in our hearts and our minds. To dance into love while we're here for as long as we can, to let our light shine in our hands and our feet, from our hearts and our minds, however we can. The point is we can. So let us begin to dance, to shine. Thank you.
Cheryl Peral, everybody. Cheryl, I just want to do a quick little presentation. On behalf of Mike and myself and everybody in our Romulan community, this is just a little picture book, sort of like what Norma Faber might have said about her picture albums. That there's a few pictures in here of the years we've known each other, and I want you to take this, fill it with more of your family, with your love, of your everything that you could put in this book and more.
My goodness, thank you.
Thank you so much for this feature. It's wonderful.
All right.
Cheryl Peral, everybody. And next up to our stage, we have feature number 2. But she's definitely not number 2 in my book or anybody else's book in this room. So I'll ask Ellen Schmidt to come up and take our stage, and our wonderful stage people will take their place. And I do happen to know that Ellen's going to be accompanied tonight by 2 very, very dear friends I haven't seen in a while, Seth Conley and Jackie Damsky, everybody. So come on up, you guys, whenever the time is right. This is such a very, very special night. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I got you. I got you. You're not going anywhere wild.
Hey, there you go. So anyway, what a fabulous feature Cheryl just put on, and now we're ready for another fabulous feature by Ellen Schmidt, accompanied by Seth Conley and Jackie Damsky. And one of the things about Ellen Schmidt, for those of you who may not know Ellen Schmidt, just if we can keep the voices down because I can't hear what I'm saying sometimes. But anyway, Ellen Schmidt, I must tell you, is such a heartbeat of so many generations and decades of music and love and compassion. Ellen Schmidt is all that and more to me personally. Since I had my own surgery recently, there has not been a day that's gone by that I have not gotten a phone call, not just from Ellen, but from Ellen and Alan Schmidt. They get on the phone every single day with me to talk to me, to see how I'm feeling, and I wanted them to see today that I'm really feeling well. And they helped me heal, just like so many. But our friendship goes way beyond that, and so far in our years that together. And so Ellen, as you may or may not know, runs a wonderful open mic called Main Streets Cafe in Concord, Mass. And Ellen could probably update you when the next one is, and it's coming up soon. But Ellen runs just about everything else at Main Streets Cafe. She runs the Concord at the everything, the events that go on at the Old Manse. I can't keep up with Ellen Schmidt at all. You see there's pictures of both Cheryl and Ellen over there on our feature board over there, and I can't even keep up with taking pictures at events of Ellen. But one of the things that I found in Ellen's online bio was that she, like her mother, and we don't go very far from our parents very often, she looks at the simple things in life, the inch-by-inch things, the very simple things that bring us together like we are here tonight as a community. Ellen Schmidt puts together in her music such simple, wonderful, eclectic, Americana, every kind of genre you want to say, mood, that it's just amazing. So I'm going to close my mouth, and I'm going to ask Ellen to open her beautiful mouth, and you're going to hear what I'm trying to say. Ellen's a dear friend. I love her dearly. And one of the things she always ends with is, I love you, I love you, I love you. And what gets any better than that? Ellen Schmidt, everybody. Let's hear it for Ellen.
Thank you. I love you too, Neil. And I want to say a big thank you to this man here, Seth Connolly. Most of you know him. And I remember when I first met you, it was at the open mic, and because the one thing I do after the stroke I had a little over a year ago is, everything else is fine except I can't remember names. It's awful. So remind me whose open mic that was. Yes, Jeff Bartley. And I came in with my guitar and my nerves and my simple songs, and he was there to play. And I was so happy. And along the way, among other things, over many years, he's produced 4 albums for me, and with all kinds of great people on them. And Cheryl, and she's wonderful. And maybe I first met you through Wendy, through my daughter.
Yes,
you were friends.
That's right. Wendy and I met at Sam W. And then she brought me back to sing on her song, and I met you. And
yes,
well,
yes. Wendy's recorded too. So anyway, we'll do some songs from different places. The first 2 have chorus parts that you can sing on if you get along. I will tell you in the second one, they're going to beat you to play, to do your part, to sing your part. And then we'll bring Cheryl up for a number, and then we have one other. I write a lot of things for Alan, and he's so easy to write for. And so patient, especially this last year where he had to keep telling me words. Okay, so this first song is one that I wrote well over 20 years ago, 25 years. And it's called Runaway Train. Some of you have heard it before. And it's really interesting to think about this, because at the time I wrote it, I sure as heck wasn't thinking about now. Okay. So it's called Runaway Train. When I was small, time passed so slow. Each day seemed long as I tried to grow. But now I'm older, days go by so fast. I blink my eyes, life rushes past. Runaway train, my life speeds on. Runaway train, so much living gone. What can I do? Take that ride. I'm on my journey to the other side. Once I looked ahead at each new day, what it would bring. Dreams were seeds I planted, then I watched them grow. Now I think of harvest and the memories of spring. Wonder about the winter coming on. Once I looked ahead at each new day, what it would bring. Dreams were seeds I planted, then I watched them grow. Now I think of harvest and the memories of spring. Wonder about the winter coming on. Now I watch days fleeting by. I fear the darkness of December sky. I wait for morning, one more new day. Come aboard that train as it rolls away. Runaway train, my life speeds on. Runaway train, so much living gone. What can I do? Take that ride. Got a one-way ticket to the other side. Runaway train, my life speeds on. Runaway train, so much living gone. What can I do but take that ride? Got a one-way ticket to the other side. Got a one-way ticket to the other side. Aren't they great?
Can we get a tiny little bit more Seth up here?
And so we didn't have any rehearsals or anything. We sort of rehearsed by phone, but they just pick everything up so beautifully. But I've written songs in many different styles over time, just whatever seemed right at the time. And Alan and I have raised a combined family with, we ended up with 7 kids in a 5-year age span. What's the word? Within 5 years, let's say. And they were all in the same Sunday school that we then met in other ways, and they already knew all one another. So when they came to live together with us, it was not a problem at all. And now we have 10 grandchildren, and so we're very happy about that. But back when we were first dating and, doing everything together, you felt you had to do everything together, and it was all fun. And then after a while, we began to realize that there were things that we could do differently, and we could have time to do them, and we did a lot of those things. And so this song is humorous, but you know, it's about those issues, and it has a part for you, and they will be singing your part, and it's called Deed I Do. Do I want you? Did I do? And do I need you? Did I do? And do I love you? You know I do. You might think I don't, but indeed I do. Now you see things in black and white. I see shades of blue. And I'm a creature of the night and mornings when you grew. But do I want you? Did I do? And do I need you? Did I do? And do I love you? You know I do. You might think I don't, but indeed I do. Now you go to the opera, country suits me fine, and I'll take in that Red Sox game while you're home making wine. But do I want you? Did I do? And do I need you? Did I do? And do I love you? You know I do. You might think I don't, but indeed I do. Slip my wig on, go stepping out on the town, while you pack up in your sports car, baby, drive it all around. But do I want you? Did I do? Do I need you? Did I do? And do I love you? You know I do. You might think I don't, but indeed I do. Well, we both got our differences, that's plain to see. But when I get you home at night, it don't make no difference to me. 'Cause do I want you? Did I do? And do I need you? Did I do? And do I love you? You know I do. You might think I don't, but did I do? Did I do? 'Cause you're so cute, Rudy Toot Toot, in your birthday suit. What a hoot. Did I do? Did I do? Did I do? Thank you. A great job on the singing. And now I'd like to please have Cheryl come up, and she had actually requested this song to be in the program. And it's just sort of interesting to look back on things that I wrote at different times and over the years, and especially since after my stroke, for a while I didn't know that some of these things were my own songs and things like that, but they're coming back, so I'm happy about this. And I'm sure you've all heard of what Barbie dolls are. I think they're now more than 50 years old, and they've gone through some changes, and they're still there. And there is a little part for you in this one. If you follow Cheryl when she comes in, okay? So you'll see there are these times that you can come in. You'll catch it. So it's called I'd Like to Be a Barbie Doll. I'd like to be a Barbie doll, I'd like to be a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll is what I want to be. I'd wear new outfits every day, and when I'd go on out to play, everyone would stare at me. Oh, I'd be a skater, I would be an astronaut, successful in everything I'd try. I'd win all the ribbons, be famous every day, with Ken proudly standing by my side. My side. I'd like to be a Barbie doll, I'd like to be a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll is what I want to be. With figure perfect, hair so neat, never worry what to eat, look like a model every day. And Ken would always be there by me. With a girl like me, how could he lose? I'd never have to worry about a boyfriend, and Ken would do everything I choose. I choose. I'd like to be a Barbie doll, I'd like to be a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll is what I want to be. You'd see me on the internet, I would be a worldwide pet. I'd talk and sing and dance for free. I never would get older, I always would stay young, with handsome dashing Ken right next to me. If I could only have my way, I would get my dreams someday. A Barbie doll is what I would be. Would be. I'd like to be a Barbie doll, I'd like to be a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll is what I want to be. I'd live my life without a care if you would only hear my prayer and make a Barbie doll for me. And make a Barbie doll for me. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Great job.
While we have a few minutes so Ellen can take one quick breather, one of the things that we can't do here at Rosendale Open Mic, we can't
Thank you. And I want to say that Cheryl and I decided that what comes in is going to this place, to Neil and whatever he does with it here. So be generous. I've already paid these two, but everything's going to be staying here.
We try to fill this massive basket, and these two wonderful women, are they not so generous to do something like that? So we're going to pass that around, and thank you, and Morville and Schmidt.
Okay, we have one more song we're going to do. And as I said, I write lots of songs for Alan. And this one was certainly written for him. And it's in some of these songs, you know, I've just recently started bringing back, or they've come into the brain a little bit. So this is called You're My Baby.
Ready? One, two,
Slow down. You make me happy when I'm blue. My heart.
make me happy.
When I'm blue, make me hungry for loving too. You are my life mate, my dear companion. You're my baby. Make a fire, give me a glow, brew that coffee real slow. Light the candles, make fondue. You're my baby. In the middle of the night, when I cannot sleep, you reach out to me. You give me heat. I feel you with me even when we're apart. We're soul to soul and we're heart to heart. The years are passing, we're older too, but you still want me like the girl you knew. I treasure every day with you. You're my baby. In the middle of the night, when I cannot sleep, you reach out to me. You give me heat. I feel you with me even when we're apart. We're soul to soul and we're heart to heart. The years are passing, we're older too, but you still want me like the girl you knew. I treasure every day with you. You're my baby. I treasure every day with you. You're my baby.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thanks especially to these two, and to you inviting us, you know, putting the two of us together here. Just wonderful. People who've heard us me play with these folks over time know that there's one that Seth always thought was a good one to finish with. And so I will. And it's called Love Spread Your Wings.
It's the only time I have actual will over a woman.
I won't touch that one.
Good idea.
It's a moment I can live in.
Love, spread your wings, come fly away with me in your dreams. Leave them all behind, your troubles and your cares, you don't need them. Soaring up above the sleeping world below, floating just the way we want to be. You can take me anywhere, I'll follow to endless sea. You and me. Love, spread your wings, come fly in your dreams together with me. In this wondrous place, we can be so free together. I know we can be just who we want to be. Find a peace and joy and maybe start again. Again with no one but each other in endless sky. You and I. Soaring up above the sleeping world below, floating just the way we want to be. You can take me anywhere, I'll follow to endless sea. You and me. Love, spread your wings, come fly in your dreams together with me. Leave your cares below, gathering dust on earth while we float above together. Love, spread your wings. Thank you all so much.
Ellen Schmidt, everybody.